Welcome to the Orca. As you know, earlier this month, NDP Finance Minister Carole James delivered the 2019-2020 budget, which contained few surprises. While most of the big tax hikes came last year, there is record spending and even more debt planned. And it's BC's job creators who are bearing the heavy load with the employer's health tax, the increasing carbon tax, the rising minimum wage, and the climbing corporate tax rates make it much tougher for small business. Val Litwin is the president of the BC Chamber of Commerce and represents 36,000 such businesses, and he joins us now from his office in Vancouver via Skype. Val, hello, welcome to the Orca.
Hey, Rick, great to see you. Nice to see you still living the life of a news anchor. This is exciting.
Thank you very much. We've been told over the years, most people in BC, most people in Canada, depend upon their livelihood from small business. Yet it seems with the number of taxes being placed on all businesses, it's the small businesses that are really nearing a breaking point. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Rick. I mean, small businesses in BC, they make what many people refer to as the backbone of our BC economy. We're talking just shy of 400,000 SMEs in the province, employing about 1.1 million people. This is a huge part of the economy. And if they're feeling the pressure of those cumulative taxes and burdens, we know we have to pay attention. What our data is showing right now, and we just went out into the marketplace. We spoke to about 900 businesses in every region of British Columbia, every size and sector of the economy. And 80% of them are saying, you know, the costs of doing business have gotten worse in the last year, and it's now affecting business confidence. So we think these are warning signs we need to pay attention to.
Affecting business confidence, that's a key phrase. Explain that to us.
Yeah, sure. Well, as goes confidence, so goes investment, right? If you, as a business owner, aren't feeling like you've got the latitude or the opportunity or the runway to get out there, buy a new piece of machinery and/or equipment, scale the team, maybe even promote someone internally as owner-operator, pushing yourself out of the business a little bit more to get that GM in place. If confidence is eroding, businesses aren't going to be making those investments. And, you know, I was chatting with a couple of guys here in downtown Vancouver the other day. Great BC success story, the juice truck guys. They started a couple of years ago. They've got 6 locations now in the Lower Mainland, and they're saying with the employer's health tax, that is now their proverbial tipping point. Their vision was to do a new location every year till practically infinity. That's the success story. That's what you want. But they're saying we're now capping our growth. That's it for us because that tax is too much for us and we can't grow anymore.
So where's the breaking point?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I suppose we're in the business of letting government know what's around the corner, right? So what we're hearing from the provincial government right now is BC couldn't be in a better place. The economy's booming, we're nation-leading growth, low unemployment. And we get it. It's been a good run, right? BC, in theory, still has a booming economy, but we're not in the business of reporting on today. We're in the business of reporting on and connecting the dots around what's just around the corner. Because the economy of the moment is never a reflection of today. It's what's come before. So now what we're saying is let's be strategic about what's ahead. And businesses saying costs are going up, confidence is declining. We appreciate the investments in childcare and housing because, you know, we get that there's a connection there between a healthy business and an employee that can find a great place to live. But business is saying there are now warning signs, and so we think those have to be heeded.
But in the long run, it makes us, as a province, as a country, less competitive.
Yeah, competitiveness is a huge issue, right? So let's just look at the carbon tax as one example. So a couple of years ago, we lost neutrality on the carbon tax. So we know those monies that are being collected now are not going back in the form of broad-based tax relief, which is actually good policy. So now it's going into general revenue. That carbon tax money is being used for discrete initiatives, and it's going up $5 a year. So this year, that'll be an additional $200 million hit to business in British Columbia. And if you're a carbon-intensive, trade-exposed industry, this is now eroding your ability to compete on the international stage. So BC Chamber, hey, we were the first organization, business organization in Canada to say we need to put a price on carbon, but we always said let's keep it neutral. Now that carbon tax, because it's lost neutrality and it's going up at the pace of about $200 million a year in terms of a hit to business, that is affecting our ability to compete, and that's a problem.
I want to go back to something you mentioned a couple of moments ago, and that is childcare and housing, which a lot of people wouldn't think that the BC Chamber of Commerce is concerned with, but those are two major concerns of yours, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, there's not a business owner operator in BC that doesn't have a clear line of sight between their ability to recruit and retain great people and the accessibility and affordability of great housing options locally, right? So, ditto for childcare. The more folks we can get back into the workforce because they have great childcare options, this is an opportunity for us to boost GDP and productivity. So, our members have been saying for a number of years now, let's keep focusing on these areas because we understand there's an ecosystem around what makes a healthy business. But business would also say, too, some of these investments have to be balanced. So again, between the increasing taxes in the next couple of years, costs, you already mentioned them, EHT, increasing minimum wage, carbon tax going up. Business is saying, we appreciate the investments, but they have to be done in a thoughtful way so that we're not eroding our ability to compete along the way.
So when you look at the big picture, Val, what's the future look like to you?
Do you know what? So here's an interesting data point for you. Businesses in BC right now are feeling optimistic, but the way I sort of interpret the data we've been collecting through our own members on our MindReader platform, and that's bcmindreader.com. It's a free platform. Anyone can log on to it. But I think we can interpret that confidence and optimism in their confidence in their own ability to execute, the belief they have in their own business plans to get the job done. Where the sort of storm clouds is around the external environment, which is to say those corporate tax rates are going up, not just a provincial problem, right? It's a federal issue as well there. But those, I should say, provincial taxes and costs that are going up, this is now starting to put a weight on business. And what we're seeing is it is slowing growth because of confidence is declining. So my prediction is we have to react quickly here from a policy standpoint to make sure we keep those businesses optimistic, that we can extend this good news story of economic growth here in British Columbia and not slow down that growth due to that, frankly, overwhelming pileup of taxes and burden on the business community.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you, Rick. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.